Now we're up to our fifth solo. For this solo, we're going to combine some of the ideas that we've talked about so far. We're going to have some single note licks. We're also going to follow the chords by outlining some chord shapes, and we're going to shift between G major pentatonic and G minor pentatonic. So here's the solo with the backing track. You know the deal. After I play with the backing track, we'll come back and break it down. So here it is, up to speed. So this solo has 6 licks. The first lick goes like this. So the first lick starts off on the 7th fret of the G string, followed by 7 on the high E string. We'll go back and forth between those two notes a total of 4 times. Now we're going to move down 1 fret and do the exact same picking pattern, but this time from the 6th fret. Back up to the 7th fret, same picking pattern. Now move it up to the 10th fret, and we'll play 10 on the G, followed by 10 on the high E string, but play those 2 notes 2 times now. Okay, so here's the first lick once again. That takes up the first 4 bars. So now for the 5th bar, we're going to be soloing over the C chord, and here's our phrase for the C chord. Just outlining the C chord directly. If you can imagine this bar shape, I'm going to take 9 on the G along with 8 on the top 2 strings, strike that chord. This is just a regular C chord, C major. We'll do that 4 times. And now add the 10th fret of the B string. This makes the chord a C6 chord. Do that once, and then back to the regular C chord. So lift off there with the 3rd finger. So we've just done this. And repeat. And that's the 2nd lick. Next lick, nice and short, but effective. Like I said, this is very simple, but this says a lot with blues phrasing. We're starting off hammering on from 3 to 4 on the G string. We're playing the minor 3rd of a G chord into the major 3rd of a G chord. Blues lives between the major and the minor 3rd, kind of going back and forth there. Not so happy like major all the time, not so dark like minor all the time, but a little bit in between. So it's that mixture that makes things really work in blues music. So 3 to 4 on the G string, followed by the note G found on the 3rd fret of the high E string, back to 6 on the B string. That's the note F, which is part of a G7 chord. So for this idea, we're going to play those 4 notes 2 times. And now here's the next lick. Here we're going to outline a D chord. Once again, very simple, but this is really effective if you can visualize this. Here's a D chord. This is what we're soloing over at this part of the progression, and I'm just going to take some of the notes from this chord. So I don't have to think about scales and scales and scales all the time. If I can see the chord, I can find some melodic notes right away. So for this one, I'm going to take 7 on the high E, 5 on the high E, followed by 7B, 7G. Put those 4 notes together. And you can just really hear that at this point, I'm playing over that D chord. And why not milk it even further? Let's go back 2 frets and do the same idea for the C chord. So that was 5 to 3 on the high E string, followed by 5B, 5G. So once again, to the D, from the D to the C. And the last lick. So this is our turnaround phrase. Starting off, 5 on the D, 3 to 4 on the G, back to 5 on the D string, and we're going to pay homage to how we started this solo. 7 on the G, followed by 7 on the high E, move down 1 fret, 6 on the G, 6 on the high E, move down 1 more fret, 5G, followed by 5 high E, now we're going to play the top 3 strings from a G chord, 4 on the G string, followed by 3 on the top 2 strings. And the last 3 notes, I'll slide into the 4th fret of the G string, play 3 on the B, land on the note D, 5th fret of the A string. So here's the last lick once again. 1, 2, 3. And now let's go back and put all of that together. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there you have solo number 5.